new aspect of things to make it kind of interesting and, ooh, what's around the corner? So, first floor here, you enter into the lobby. We've got a carpeted area with lower ceilings to kind of give an effect of a nice cozy feel. We're going to jump over to the restaurant and bar area. The restaurant actually has a fur down of wood with a corresponding walkway underneath it of wood as well. The ceiling is actually a stretched fabric ceiling by New Mat USA. It will be backlit to create this groin vault effect, so you have this enclosing, enveloping feeling when you're eating. High back chairs for privacy and sounds. I have a problem with being able to hear other people's conversations when I'm in a restaurant. It drives me crazy, so I really like a high back. The fabrics will be on the back, but there will be vinyl on the chairs, on the seats. So here it'll be this white as well, and the white fabric will be on the seats of the settees in the bar. The bar is going to be kind of a transition space between the bright, super colorful lobby and the somewhat dark monochromatic restaurant. There's a little bit more pops of color with the bishop stools and the tabletops of the pedestal tables. Custom light fixtures over the settee, glass tile behind the bar, and the walls are actually clad in a 1x1 wood tile that is made from junked out boats in Japan. So we'll actually have a lot more of those here coming up probably. Unfortunately, dark carpet in Man-Made Street. It's a shawl carpet tile. So you've got the nice dark striation pattern, and then in the restaurant, there's a corresponding one to this that I left at home. Actually, it's a little bit darker, and it'll be set in a quarter turn for the restaurants. Onto the lobby, very bright, very colorful. It's the center focus of the entire hotel, actually. And as you radiate from that, the color scheme becomes less and less intense and a little bit more neutral. So you've got this staircase, which is the main focal point of the lobby, and it will actually be glass and backlit with color-changing LEDs that will rotate on a cycle. So it will actually rotate through the color scheme. Fabrics for the chairs and the furniture there. Same carpet as the bar area, a nice dark. So when you have all that walk-off material. The flooring is going to be porcelain with a wood grain embedded into it. And then here you've got a carpet that is set into that. That'll be a custom piece. Queen of Love chair is indoor-outdoor furniture. It's actually made out of a foam material that's coated in a plastic. So I've got those throughout the space in addition to the balconies for the suites. We've got sections for the first floor so you can kind of see how it relates. These are the structural columns. Everything is down to the column grid and structural walls, so I really had a blank canvas to work with. I wanted to make them feel like really large lamps to kind of bring that ceiling height down and create a little bit more human scale within the space. And it just added a little bit of visual interest to the colonnade throughout. So these will actually be lit. They are clad in a custom carpet that is here by Step TV. They do wool rugs, so it's actually fire retardant. And they will be done in gray, black, white, and then throughout with the color scheme, just little striations within. And then the corners will be wrapped in stainless steel. And then the second floor, this grand staircase has to lead to something, so what I ended up doing is having it go to a second floor lounge. This is something that many hotels for their guests, they usually have like a manager's reception every evening. So from like 5 to 7, there's like cocktails and drinks and snacks and things like this, and this is where this would take place. So you've got a penetration through the third and second floors going down into the lobby with a bocce light fixture that continues all the way down to the lobby. Here, fairly monochromatic with this one really big splash of color on the walls with this nice hot pink wall covering. The white furniture and the wood keep it pretty simple. Glass guardrail around the opening in the floor, obviously. And then there's also a glass guardrail with the opening in the floor for the staircase. This is a typical section of one of the rooms, fairly simple. How the rooms are going to be differentiated between them is that they will each have their own color scheme, will be across the hall from each other. So in the hallway, you've got carpet changes. There's going to be different color carpet, and that's going to correspond with the theme that that room has. So for the most part, this will be the wall covering. It's Lucy in the Sky by Icon. And then the main wall, the focal wall, will be in a coordinating wall covering that will go with the theme of that room. So this would be the pink and the red, and this would be the blue. And with that, also coordinating upholstery fabrics from the lobby as well. But for the most part, very neutral, monochromatic with tiny splashes of color. The bathrooms, the same way. The bathrooms I'm really excited about because I like a bathroom with lots of natural light. And when you're in a hotel, there's nothing worse than taking a dark shower because it's always just like in this like closet space that never gets any light. So all of the bathrooms have windows, which I'm very pleased with, and the windows will be frosted for, for privacy reasons, but also the walls leading to the restroom will be 5 feet high, or I'm sorry, 4.5 feet high, and then from that part above will be frosted glass. So that light from the bathroom will actually be spilling into the room itself, so it's really going to be illuminated. When I went to the site and visited, that was the one thing that I was really impressed with, was the amount of illumination from the natural light, because there's no electricity, and the way the building was built back then, it was built to utilize that natural light. The hallways were just flooded, and I was very excited about that, so I really wanted to take advantage. I tried to situate the bathtubs next to the windows if at all possible, just so if you're taking a shower, you have a really bright, airy feeling. From the floor up to approximately 4 feet, you'll have this ceramiche tile. It's slightly engraved and etched in a pattern that corresponds with this. It's hard to see on the board. And then from that point on, you'll have a border that goes around the top of this. These are both designed by Kamir Rashid, very bright, very mod kind of product designer. This goes as well for the bathroom in the lobby, and without the glass, obviously. It'll just be the white tile and then the border, the band at 4.5 feet. The hallways in the second and third floor, the bottom will be this Wolf Gordon vinyl wall covering with a chrome metal chair rail, and then above that will be this Weitzner Newsworthy. It is treated, so it's fire retardant and able to be used and all of that. When I was having to specify it out, I was kind of nervous because it is paper, but it's been treated, and they said that it can be used for hospitality. So. And onto the third floor, here we've got a gym where the lounge was on the second floor, and then the suites are roughly going to be the same. There's really not fabric changes here and there, but for the most part, like I said, as you radiate out from the center, the color becomes less and less intense. So it's pretty neutral, little pops of color. Here you can see one of the super graphics that I had discussed at Mid-Crit. This is work by Monty Shane. He's a local photographer that does historical photography. So this is actually the staircase to Shellcrest, if I do remember correctly. And I like to bring the history of Memphis into the space, since the structure is such a historical structure, but internally it really doesn't have anything phenomenal or worth seeing. Definitely the outside is its crowning jewel. So if you go out here, you've got the balcony with cork chaise lounge and those Queen of Love chairs that are weather resistant, and then a little seating area with tables and chairs. Good question.